before your kids could even touch them. The tax collector and creditors.
I don't know much about estate and inheritance taxes. I've heard about changes in tax laws, but it's a little complicated, so I just try not to worry about it.
Far too often, the cost of probate and estate taxes forces children to sell off their parents' assets, leaving little for them.
I'd at least like for them to have this house. After all, they grew up here, and we'd like to keep it in the family. They say you can't take it with you. I just didn't realize it was the tax collector who said it.
The elder law attorneys at LifePoint Law understand probate and estate taxes. They know how to protect your assets and your legacy. You can trust LifePoint Law and Rajiv Nagaich. Call 877-ELDER-47. That's 877-ELDER-47.
The Pacific Northwest is the perfect backdrop for the holiday season. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law reminds us that the roadways don't always agree.
It's that combination of additional travel, changes in routine, and winter weather that make this the most dangerous time of the year to be behind the wheel.
Any safety tips to help commuters keep the holidays joyful?
The number one cause of accidents remains distracted driving, even during the holidays. So store that cell phone in a place that eliminates temptation. It's imperative we set the example for our teens. Also, be aware of abrupt changes in the weather and prepare for it. Sometimes it's as simple as allowing additional distance for following or stopping. Lastly, make sure your vehicle is properly maintained for winter.
That includes four-wheel drive and chains when required at the pass. Please follow these safety precautions from my good friends at Pendergast Law and keep you and your neighbors safe this holiday season.
Happy holidays from all of us at Pendergast Law.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Stories come to life at your local parks and forests. They're places of wonder, and they're closer than you think. Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
The News Watch never stops. News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000.
KNWN FM Oakville, KNWN and KPLZ HD2 Seattle.
The Northwest's only all-news station.
Swifties expected to jam crossing the border at Blaine again today, as well as tomorrow. And just ahead, more about a motorcycle fatal crash on Nickerson on the northwest side of Queen Anne. Right now, time at 9 o'clock. Let's give you the latest now from ABC News. Good morning.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. President-elect Trump in Paris today for the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral, beforehand meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron at the presidential palace and remembering the cathedral fire in 2019.
You were at that time present for the first time, and I remember the solidarity and your immediate reaction. So, welcome back again.
Well, thank you very much.
We are very happy to have you here.
Thank you very much. Very great honor.
And Trump saying?
It certainly seems like the world is going a little crazy right now.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about that.
Also meeting with Trump and Macron at the presidential palace, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Major new advances by Islamic State rebels in Syria, putting the government of dictator Bashar al-Assad at serious risk. ABC's Matt Gutman.
Those rebels have made enormous gains in the east, in the south, and now Islamist rebels are right on the doorstep of the key city of Homs. And analysts tell us if they take Homs, the entire regime could collapse. Now, we've seen images of those rebels taking down statues of Bashar al-Assad's father, of droves of people fleeing the cities, of government troops just surrendering. And the two main sponsors of Syria, Russia and Iran, have reportedly been telling their personnel in Damascus to get out.
Back home, the FBI now joining the nationwide manhunt for the suspect behind the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. New York City police finding a backpack that they say belongs to the suspect, and the FBI offering a $50,000 reward. And it's not believed that the suspect took a bus, or it is believed he took a bus out of the city shortly after the killing. Former NYPD Chief of Detectives Robert Boyce.
He's methodical and disciplined. I will give this individual that. But everybody makes mistakes, and you got to find those mistakes.
A deadlocked jury, the judge dismissing the top charge against Daniel Perry, accused of using a deadly chokehold on a New York City subway. You're listening to ABC News.
News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000. All news, all the time. On the Northwest's only all-news station.
Rain showers around western Washington right now. Drive carefully. Our temperature in Seattle, 50 degrees. I'm Mark Christopher. Here's the latest we have in the 24/7 Northwest News Center. Large group planning to head for the Seattle Center today. They're there to kick off a statewide campaign campaign to draw attention to massive federal funding cuts that put at risk all crime victim services around our state. Without stabilization funding in the next budget, they're saying victims of crime will face delays or denials of service they need to recover. These services currently assist about 52,000 victims of crime statewide every year, including domestic violence, sexual assault, trafficking, child abuse, and other violent crimes. Swifties head for the border yesterday at one point for Friday night's concert in BC there in Vancouver, one of three this weekend. They got to be about 55 minutes to get across the border because the crowd. Final leg, or shall we just say the finale of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, and it's in Vancouver, BC with these three shows. As many people idled waiting to get across the border, of course, Whatcom County had a chance to really boost their economy with everybody stopping for whatever was needed here to add to their fun getaway to see that concert. The Downtown Seattle Association said her two concerts at Lewin Field, meanwhile, in the summer of 2023, seems so long ago, helped bring in $7.4 million in revenue for hotels. Swift also made hefty donations to local food banks. More of an update here. That fatal motorcycle crash on North Queen Anne, just east of Ballard Bridge, leads now to a double investigation. Here's why.
A very difficult scene for everybody involved. This is not a good day. This is a very difficult day.
Even before the second police case here, investigators say this scene was bad enough as it was.
Knowing that there is a deceased body right there, we're humans. That's a difficult thing to work through and process.
At the height of the afternoon rush, a collision between a motorcycle and this car, sending the man on this bike more than 50 feet away. Now an investigation is underway to see who was at fault.
No matter what the circumstances were, whether it's negligence or simply just didn't see that individual, that's a very difficult thing to feel that you're responsible for.
Moments after this collision, a pedestrian jumped in to help as that Good Samaritan directed traffic. They were hit by a car that then sped off, meaning this fatal crash scene also became the spot of a hit and run.
And Seattle police are hoping, if anybody saw the incident, to get a hold of them. Some witnesses telling our news partner, Como 4, it was a Mercedes, and many of them yelled at the driver to stop, but they simply took off. Checking on sports, Kraken with a loss, but it looked so close to making a goal in the final seconds of the third period, 3-2 to final. The Kraken now head to Madison Square Garden. They got the Rangers in a game tomorrow. We got Seahawks headed for Arizona and Glendale, of course, to play the Cardinals. And we should mention, too, history made in the much-anticipated battle for AAA State Football Championship last night at Husky Stadium. Second-seeded O'Day knocks off number 1 Bellevue, the final 38-15.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
Still some full lanes of congestion northbound on I-5 from the West Seattle Bridge past I-90, heading up toward around Seneca Street as you move into downtown Seattle. Once you get past there, heading up toward the Ship Canal, everything looks good, and crossing over onto the north side of the canal, you're in good shape. Southbound traffic on I-5 doesn't look too bad. Once you cross over the canal, you might be in a little bit of heavy volume heading down toward Mercer Street, but it doesn't look too bad at this point. 405, a little bit heavy, a little bit crowded between 520 and I-90, but it doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little spot of slowing as you move northbound coming off of I-90. Mountain Passes definitely seeing a lot of messiness, I'll just put it that way. Snow, slush, ice, it's kind of all there. Traction tires recommended at both Stevens and Snoqualmie. No restrictions at White Pass. You definitely want to take it easy, though, no matter which way you're crossing the Cascades this morning, because it's been kind of messy there this morning. Even though it's rain at the lower elevations, it's been snow and freezing rain up at the higher elevations of the mountains. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
Thank you, Brian. Our forecast for right now, we're seeing the latest here, sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. Rain will continue till late afternoon here, up to an inch in areas. We're not kidding. High near 50, southwest wind at 10 to 15, gusty to 25. It'll be very windy up in the mountains, gusty 30 to 40 miles per hour after 4 o'clock when we have this winter weather storm hitting the Cascades above 3,000 feet. Looks like it's going to be anywhere from 12 to maybe 17 inches for many of the mountain passes, again, above 3,000 feet. Rain at times tomorrow. Chance of rain total about less than a tenth. So, yeah, this will be the rainy day of the two. 50 right now in Seattle here at Northwest News.
The following program was paid for by LifePoint Law and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Radio management or staff.
Aging Options, how can we help?
It's time to know your options and master your future. My life, my plan, my way. LifePoint Law presents Aging Options with elder law attorney and life planning coach Rajiv Nagaich. Health, housing, finance, legal, and family. Know your options. Aging Options is not a law firm, but Rajiv is a lawyer. You should not reveal things you wish to keep confidential in this public setting. This program offers general advice. Having your questions answered does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. Contact your attorney or other professional to discuss your unique needs before taking any action related to the subjects discussed in this program. Now, here is nationally recognized retirement planning authority and host of national public television program, Master Your Future, Rajiv Nagaich.
So I got to tell you, among all the duties here at Northwest News Radio here from Mark Christopher, I got to say, I just love hanging out and producing this show. Here's why. How many times people come up to you, when are you going to retire, and what are you going to do? And you just sit there staring like a deer in headlights. Well, this show will get you thinking about other things. For example, Rajiv Nagaich gets into up to 4 topics based on articles found during the week that are worth discussion. And in the months I produce this show, every single one is important. How about early Social Security do-over? Millions of people start receiving Social Security long before full retirement age, but many at the age of 62, right? But once you start those early benefits, you can change your mind. Huh? Rajiv will explain some of the rules of Social Security do-over. Financial risk for caregivers. We talk a lot here on Aging Options about the emotional burden of being a caregiver. But on top of that burden, millions also face the challenge of being their spouse's financial caregiver. Preparing for the financial risks of caregiving. We'll talk about it. You know, nobody ever signs up for it, and then all of a sudden, wow, what happened? Surprise early retirement. Many looking forward to early retirement, but more than half of all retirees say they left the workplace years earlier than they had planned. Are you at the risk of being surprised by early retirement? And the longevity diet, we're going to hit on this too. Is there a diet that can guarantee longevity? I can't wait to hear this. Have we really discovered the fountain of youth? Well, no, but research continues to prove that better eating habits can add years to your life and life to your years. Just in time for the holidays. What perfect timing on this one. And then I also hear rumor by public demand on the east side, they're wanting another seminar as Rajiv tries to fit in at least 3 per month, but that'll be number 4. All this straight ahead. Rajiv Nagaich, you're all set for a seminar today happening at 11:30 at SeaTac. We got a show to do first, my friend. And I know financial risk for caregivers, you were saying that's going to be a big one.
Yeah. All of that aside, happy holidays to you, Mark. I mean, this is right in the thick of happy holiday season and the last day of the Medicare open enrollment, or is it?
Oh,
that's the big
December
question,
7th,
or is it?
Okay.
Are there dates between January 1 and March 31 of 2025? Do they have anything to do with Medicare open enrollment? Well, that'll be something that I'll also comment on today. But how about these apples, Mark? 8 years. Add 8.8 years for the average person at age 60 by making this one simple change to your diet. And this article that I talked about, this article is talking about the longevity diet. Live longer, feel better with the longevity diet. Tony, you have outdone yourself today. I mean, this is such a look forward to article that you read, right? I mean, I don't have to spend money. I don't have to go to a gym and huff and puff. I don't have to go run a marathon. And by making these simple changes, I can add 8 to 10 years of life just by making this dietary change.
Okay.
Who else is talking to you about this, right? This is a great story. Go to AgingOptions.com. I am not going to give away the super ending of this story. You need to go read this article for yourself. And it is so darn simple, something that, you will be easily able to relate to. And it's not that difficult to do. This is not one of those fad diets that you have to do. This is just a simple change that you can end up making. And research shows 8.8 years for the average person who is 60 years of age, 8 years for women at 60 years of age, and 3.5 years even if you make this change at age 85. It's a great article to take a look at. And how about the first one? How many people, and over the years, I'll tell you, we have taken care of over 8,000 clients. I ran those numbers 2-3 years ago. I was looking at how many people have we really helped. We've been talking about this for 20 plus years in the radio. How many people have we really helped? And it's about 8,000 plus people who have walked through the doors of what used to be law firm Johnson Nagaich, now LifePoint Law. And we have helped them with life planning. Now, I'm not interested in being a neighborhood estate planning lawyer. That has never been my motivation. And we have helped those people. And now those people, how many people we've been able to talk to about the Social Security issue, and people have had to change their mind, or people have willingly changed their mind about Social Security. And this is a great article. It talks about we get into the hype and the euphoria about I have to take Social Security. Who knows whether Social Security will be there next year or not? I may as well claim the money while it's good to be claiming. I'm hearing that the trust account is going to run out of money. But is that the entire news? Is that really true that if the trust fund runs out, Social Security will end? You may not get any money? Stay tuned. When we come back, we'll talk about that, because I promise there is a better answer to the question on Social Security. Mark?
All right, and you're looking at the longevity diet. Again, the website, lifepointlaw.com. And when you're there, click on events. This is where you can find this new seminar he's added here for next Saturday in Redmond. These are 90 minutes. They're free to attend. More of life planning rather than just retirement talking here, these seminars. He's got one today, by the way, if you can make CTAC at 11:30. All directions and how to register so you can get a head count. Go to lifepointlaw.com and hit on events. Phone number, you got questions, 206-421-1000.
Thanks for listening to Aging Options on News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000. Learn more by going to AgingOptions.com for blogs, videos, and the Aging Options portal. Visit AgingOptions.com for blogs, videos, and the portal.
My wife and I just retired. We thought we were set, but then I started wondering, we want to live at home until the end. Is that even possible? We know retirees who've been forced to move into institutional care. My uncle wanted to age at home, but his family moved him into a nursing home after a health crisis, even though he had plenty of money to get care at home. I was concerned about this, so my wife and I went to a free retirement planning seminar with elder law attorney Rajiv Nagaich. I'm so glad we did. Now we have a solid plan for retirement built around our goal to live out our lives at home, even if our health fails. It's a huge relief.
There's a retirement planning seminar near you. CTAC December 7th. To register, visit lifepointlaw.com or call 253-838-3454. That's lifepointlaw.com or 253-838-3454. lifepointlaw.com, 253-838-3454.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
Now we got problems on the north side to tell you about. Northbound I-5 after 163rd Street. The left lane and the right two lanes are blocked with a crash there. Authorities are on their way. They haven't quite gotten there yet, but you could expect some delays quickly starting to build. They're already almost back to 145th Street, and they're going to build back beyond there. Meanwhile, in Linwood, watch out for this accident that's just occurred southbound on 405 right after the split with I-5. It's blocking both the left and right sides of the roadway. You're squeezing through single file in one of the center lanes, and traffic is really backing up almost as soon as you take the ramps off of I-5 to get onto southbound 405 in Linwood. You're going to almost be at a dead stop, and you probably just want to stay away from there at least for the next little while as crews are working to clean this up. Again, this is southbound 405 in Linwood after I-5. You want to stay away from there for the time being. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
And a weekend forecast here sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. This will be the day of rain showers with highs around 50. South winds at 5 to 15. Here it could be gusty to 25. Snow gets serious after 4 p.m. today until 4 p.m. tomorrow above 3,000 feet. Could be another foot to 17 to 19 inches. It'll be a challenge over the mountain passes, so keep it here for traffic. Right now in Seattle, scattered rain showers are temperature 50 here at Northwest News. It out here and get full benefits here from Social Security. And what about that longevity diet? Maybe 8 more years. Got to go to the website, says Rajiv, as he's teasing already. A reason to get to lifepointlaw.com and look at the blog. And a real quick, too, I want to mention, too, how did you come up with another seminar? You had 3 planned for the month here, another one today at 11:30, Rajiv, at CTAC here. You can still register for that. Free to attend, everybody. Bring a friend at lifepointlaw.com. Click on events. But now you made room for one next week. How do you find space? I was going to say, how do you find space when everybody's trying to get a holiday party and can't get a room?
I know. It is one of those calls that you end up getting is saying, well, I got to what do I prioritize up here? Should I just at this point? There's some people who had family members who are coming from out of town, and they wanted to go ahead and see if there would be a seminar on the east side. And there was not one call. We got 2 calls on this one. And to get any call, saying that, would you please come and do a seminar up here? We want to be able to come and, how do you say no to that? And, this
Perfect.
is my church. This is this is how I evangelize people about how to live better. So I couldn't say no, so we added one more in Redmond.
Good for you. So next Saturday, plan for that one. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. And today is the open enrollment season that is going to end, but not really. Because the thing that I want you to know, I hope you made some changes. There have been a massive number of changes, even in Washington State. So if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you've seen a few of the companies that have gone out of business or they are not going to be offering plans. The plans that are still being offered, you have seen the prices go up, deductibles go up, maybe the benefits have shrunk a little bit. I hope you have been paying attention to it. Because if your benefits are shrinking and your prices are going up and you're still hanging on to the same plan because you didn't want to take time to go and shop around, not a good plan, my friend, not a good plan. And over the many shows that we've done, I've talked about what is the difference between Medicare Advantage and traditional Medicare, and should you be looking at a Medicare Advantage plan? And over, I'll keep telling you, the one ad you will never hear is about promotion of a Medigap plan or traditional Medicare. Why not? Because that is issued by the government. The government has prohibited some weird reason to go ahead and advertise the Medigap plan, and so the government never advertises Medigap. So all you hear about is Medicare Advantage, and people who are going to be making a shift, they just simply move over to Medicare Advantage, even though Medicare Advantage causes a lot of mayhem. Is it all bad? No. I mean, for some people, Medicare Advantage is good. But for most people, I would say a traditional Medicare plan with a Medigap supplement plan is probably still the better answer. And there is so much research on all of this stuff. The good news, if you are stuck in a Medicare Advantage plan starting January 1 through March 31, you will be able to shift back from an Advantage plan to a to a traditional Medicare plan. But there's some limits to the whole thing. The problem is once you go into the Medicare Advantage plan, you can shift from a traditional plan to a Medicare Advantage plan. There is no medical underwriting. Anyone can just shift over. But if you want to go back from a Medicare Advantage plan to a Medigap plan, and why would you want to do that? Because you want to have fewer out-of-pocket costs. You want to be able to see any doctor anywhere in the country as long as they accept Medicare without being worried about, is this going to be an out-of-pocket or out-of-area experience for me where I'll have to pay a higher deductible co-payments. You want to be able to see any doctor of your choosing without having to go to a primary care doctor or any specialist of your choosing without having to go to a primary care doctor and saying, hey, can you give me a referral? Right? So you're never out of network. You can see anyone that you want to see. And the best part is if you get something like a Plan G as in George, you pay a one-time deductible once a year. You will never see a bill again. How refreshing is that? So you can move from a traditional plan to a Medicare Advantage plan, but you cannot move from an Advantage plan to a traditional Medicare plan without getting a medical underwriting process to go through.
Is there a good website to help us read on this?
There's an article on medicalnews.com. Mm-hmm. There's an article on ARP, but the best place I can send you, because you're listening to the show, email me at radio@agingoptions.com, and I have a white paper I'd written many years ago, and I clean it up every year, and I just keep giving it because that advice has never changed. So you can call us you can email us at radio@agingoptions.com, and I can send that article out to you. And better yet, you can just call today. We can talk to you, can't we?
Yeah.
Mark, how do people call us?
Yeah, here, go for it. 206-421-1000. With all the information this guy's got in retirement, you think he's an easy guy to get a hold of, and he's generous to do these workshops here, which, again, he's just added December 14th for next week. He's all yours here at 206-421-1000. The website, of course, to back everything up he's sharing is lifepointlaw.com. Again, that number, when it's safe for you to make a call if you're in your car, 206-421-1000. Rajiv.
And one of the things I'll say, this is the holiday season. This is the giving season. We give a lot of presents to everyone. Give yourself a present. And the present that you want to give yourself is the education and the knowledge. What does it take for you to live a better retirement than your neighbor will, than the next person will? What does it really take? I mean, are you really set? Ask yourself this question. If you end up in the hospital today, let's say you ended up in the hospital, not today, tomorrow, but a year, 2 years, 3 years down the street, you're in the hospital. And the hospital does a fantastic job. They give you treatment, whatever you went in there for. They managed to save your life. Now they've saved your life and you're on the mend, right? But you can't speak for yourself. And a nurse is talking to your family members and they're all concerned, kind of huddling around you and what's going to happen, what is our next step. And the nurse is saying to your children or to your power of attorney agent or spouse, whoever it is, hey, Rajiv is going to be okay. Or this individual, your loved one, he'll be okay. We saved his life. But now that he is on the mend, we need to kick him out of the hospital. He can't be staying here much longer. Here's a list of 7 rehab centers. Pick the one that you want us to send him to. Or he shouldn't be going home. He needs to go to a care facility. His needs are going to be that you can't be taking care of him and the doctor is not going to discharge him back home. You need to get him into a place of care. How do you want your agent to answer the question? And if you're the agent, if this question is asked for you, how are you going to answer the question? What answer do you think your loved one will want you to give? And what answer are you going to ultimately end up giving? There is a reason why 70% of Americans do not get to live out their lives at home. The best gift you can give yourself, you can buy all sorts of gifts for a lot of people. The best gift you can give yourself is knowledge. It doesn't even cost you anything. Invest an hour of your time, an hour and a half of your time, and we'll be at the in I think SeaTac today.
Yeah, SeaTac today.
Yeah, SeaTac today.
Right after the show, in fact,
11:30. We'll be in Redmond.
Right.
Take time, understand, this is your life. Own it, claim it, give yourself the biggest gift, I promise. There's nothing better that you'll be able to get.
Look at these seminars, too, because we hear a lot of people go to more than one because of things they learn, and they always like to bring a friend, a coworker, a neighbor here. You can find out about the seminars, free to attend. I hate to use the word seminar. It's more just a fun get-together with a guy who's got a radio show, and let's go one-on-one with a bunch of people in the room and answer some questions. If you got time today, 11:30 to 1 p.m., this will be at SeaTac area. Then he's got one. He just added this one next weekend, Saturday, right after the show in Redmond from 11:30 to 1 p.m. About 90 minutes. They're free to attend. Let them know you're coming by going to livepointlaw.com. Click on events there and register. You're going to learn so much, just like all you're learning right now here on the radio. More of Aging Options just ahead. Yes, you can make a phone call and ask a question. You bet. 206-421-1000. Surprise early retirement. Financial risk for caregivers. How about early Social Security do-over? Did I get your attention? You have a question? There's a reason to call. 206-421-1000. Aging Options. But first, let's get to traffic and weather real quick.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
We had headaches earlier this morning on the south side. Now we've got big-time problems on the north side. Northbound I-5 before 175th Street. Left HOV lane and the left through lane are blocked with a crash there. They've shoved it out of the center lane, but that's not really helping you a whole lot because it is really backed up. Starting back at around 145th Street, it's going to be a solid delay moving northbound from there up toward Linwood right now on northbound I-5. You may want to consider taking 405 northbound instead. Southbound on 405, that's another story, though. Coming off of I-5 in Linwood, there's a crash there that was blocking both sides of the road. They have moved the cars off to the right side of the road, but they are still blocking the left lane, so you're able to get by to the center and right, but it's really backing traffic up, especially coming on the ramps from southbound I-5 onto southbound 405. If you're staying on I-5 southbound, stay to the right. If you're staying on 405, you're going to be stuck in traffic. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
Hey, the weekend forecast sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. A rainy Saturday plan. Temperatures today in the 50s. Breezy at times. Snow hits the mountains about 4 o'clock this afternoon until 4 o'clock tomorrow above 3,000 feet. It'll be a challenge for the mountain passes. Tomorrow, less chance of rain, maybe a sunbreak or two, but still some showers around. Still with temperatures in the 50s.
What a drag it is getting old.
And you thought it'd be easy. You get old and decisions come easy, but then there's all this talk about retirement. How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? Maybe one of those questions is financial risk for caregivers. You know, we talk a lot here on the show of Aging Options every Saturday from 9 to 10 about the emotional burden of being a caregiver. But on top of that burden, millions also face the challenge of being their spouse's financial caregiver, preparing for the financial risks of caregiving. Yeah, we'll discuss that. We're seeing the phone ringing too. Anywhere, any topic. By the way, you can interrupt Rajiv anytime at 206-421-1000. Rajiv.
Let's go to Dimitri. I think he is calling from Seattle. Dimitri, welcome to Aging Options. You're on the air. How can we help?
Demetrius, you there? Here we go. You're on air.
Yeah. No, I was just trying to call about your upcoming event And if you couldn't make it to that one, when was the other one? I wasn't trying to be on the air either.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, yeah, but I mean, go ahead.
Okay, so Demetrius, he's got one scheduled today at 11:30 at SeaTac. He just added next Saturday in Redmond. For location and to sign up and all that goes on there, go to lifepointlaw.com. Click on events. That's lifepointlaw.com. That's for everybody listening right now here. And Rajiv is able to do at least 3 of these every month, but he's decided to add a fourth because of demand from people in Redmond saying, I got people in town and I can't make it. I want to make it with them. Can you do another one? So there you go. Next Saturday as well, Rajiv.
Thanks so much. Hey, Demetrius, happy holidays to you. And hey, John, let's go to, is it Jason or Geeson from Tacoma? Welcome to Aging Options. You're on the air.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
How do you pronounce your name?
Jisun, G-E-S-U-N.
Got it. Okay. Welcome, Jisan. How can we help?
Oh, yes. I just hear about, medical question and when you retire.
Yes.
And things like that. I would like to learn some more about it. So I called for the class. I mean, the information for the class.
Okay, so the information for the free session that we end up doing, there are two of them. There is one today at SeaTac, and that will start at 11 o'clock. And if you cannot make it today, you can go to the one in Redmond, which will be next Saturday, also at, I think it's 11 or 11:30. I don't remember the times exactly.
11:30, yeah.
Yeah, it is at 11:30, both of these. And next week is SeaTac. You can go to lifepointlaw.com. And right on the main page, it says upcoming retirement planning seminars, and you can register for one right there. Okay?
Okay, awesome.
All right, Jisan, thank you so much. And let's see, that leaves the line open for Mark in Everett. Okay, Mark, you're on the air, and I know you've got a question.
Yes, I turned 65 back in July, and I know today is December 7th. Do I still have time, being that I've never applied to enroll in Medicare A and B today?
Right. Boy, you have to get this done. So don't run away. We are right on the break. When I come back, I'll try and help you out with it. And yes, you do need to enroll. And today is the last day that you're hearing the show, because this could save you a lot of money in future. We'll be back after the break.
Okay, Mark, you're going to hear a click of a button or two. I'm just putting you on hold, so hang on here. We got a couple of minutes. We're going to do news and traffic here and get right back to it here for Aging Options here every Saturday, all about talking about retirement and life planning. I just love the way he says that, Rajiv Nagaich, as your host. Any questions you have, here's a phone number. Get to know it. Memorize it. 206-421-1000. Hang on, everybody. So much more to come.
The News Watch never stops. News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000.
The Northwest's only all-news station.
ABC Headlines. Good morning. It's 9:30.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. In Paris, a three-way meeting today between President-elect Trump, French President Emmanuel Macron, and here, Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky ahead of reopening ceremonies at Notre Dame Cathedral.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The FBI now joining the nationwide manhunt for the suspect behind the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. New York City police finding a backpack they say belongs to the suspect. ABC's Josh Einiger.
A source with knowledge of the case tells me the bag appears to be filled mostly with clothing. Nothing harmful, but a potential treasure trove of forensic evidence detectives have been looking for now for days. The shooter himself may be long gone, but this could be the biggest break yet when it comes to figuring out who he is.
The FBI offering a $50,000 reward, and the FBI warning that Chinese hackers may access texts between iPhones and Androids via the SMS system. Experts suggest using encrypted apps like WhatsApp to avoid texting sensitive information. This is ABC News.
97.7 FM and AM 1000. All news, all the time. For Seattle, Tacoma, Bellevue, and beyond. The Northwest's only all-news station.
50 degrees. We have rain showers. We'll get to forecast here in just a moment. Also check on some traffic. Top stories we have this time for you. By the way, good morning. I'm Mark Christopher. A man makes it easy to put guns on the streets of Seattle in the hands of violent criminals actually all over the area. Yesterday, sentenced by a federal judge. Now will spend time behind bars. For this story, Jeremy Harris, Tacoma 4.
Cooper may have walked out of court today, but he'll soon have to report to federal prison for a 3-year sentence in what prosecutors call the largest straw purchasing case in Seattle history. Assistant United States Attorney Todd Greenberg prosecuted Cooper.
So a 3-year sentence in this case does send a message, and I hope it's heard by others like Dion Cooper.
Investigators linked the guns Cooper bought to dozens of violent crimes.
54 of the guns that Dion Cooper purchased were linked to and used in violent crimes, a homicide, drive-by shootings, armed robberies.
Court documents list the guns that Cooper bought, saying gun store employees were suspicious of him. And in one case, an employee asked him, quote, "You're buying all these for yourself, right?" Cooper responded, "Yes, they're all for me." Then the employee asked Cooper what happened to the guns he previously bought, to which Cooper responded something to the effect of, "I lost a bunch of them."
Look, we have too many guns on the street. And because of Dion Cooper, there are 133 extra guns on the street being used in crimes.
Following the death of a 15-year-old boy Wednesday night, crime data from the Seattle Police Department showing West Seattle now has tied 2023's homicide rate, which was the most number of homicides in at least a decade. Through December 5th, they said a total of 7 homicides have occurred in West Seattle, same number of cases for all of 2023. Other news we're looking at this morning, a 29-year-old killed while riding his motorcycle, which some described as a street-legal dirt bike, Friday afternoon. This was the northwest area of Queen Anne along Nickerson Street near 8th Avenue West, just east of the Ballard Bridge. Como's Ryan Sims. And what happened a short time later that created now a second major investigation?
At the height of the afternoon rush, a collision between a motorcycle and this car, sending the man on this bike more than 50 feet away. Now an investigation is underway to see who was at fault.
No matter what the circumstances were, whether it's negligence or simply just didn't see that individual, that's a very difficult thing to feel that you're responsible for.
Moments after this collision, a pedestrian jumped in to help as that Good Samaritan directed traffic. They were hit by a car that then sped off, meaning this fatal crash scene also became the spot of a hit and run.
Very high stress scene.
The pedestrian who got hit should be okay, yet police say the driver who fled this scene could ultimately face charges.
Check it on sports here. Seahawks on the road tomorrow. They're headed for Glendale to play against the Cardinals. This will really help their standings if they got a win tomorrow. Let's just say it could create some distance. Kraken had a tough one against New Jersey. They're on the road right now, 3-2 the final. Now the Kraken will head to New York, Madison Square Garden, to play the Rangers tomorrow. Second-seeded O'Day High School knocks off number 1 Bellevue High 38-15 in a battle of unbeaten teams. This was for the AAA State Football Championship held last night at Husky Stadium.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
Still some real messy situations to deal with on the north side right now. Northbound I-5 before 175th Street. They are pushing these cars off to the right shoulder of the roadway right now, and so they're trying to get all lanes back open. Unfortunately, it's not before some serious damage was done, and now you're backed up as far south as Roosevelt Way on northbound I-5 coming out of downtown Seattle. You could expect at least a 20-minute delay to get between Roosevelt and 175th right now. Southbound 405 and Linwood, right as you come off of I-5, almost even before you get off of I-5, you'll be slowing down because of this crash taking out the left lane just as soon as you get off those ramps from I-5 onto southbound 405. They're trying to push these cars off to the shoulder. What do all these have in common? All of them were slippery roadway induced. All these cars slid on slick roadways and right into a concrete barrier. So be careful. Don't use your cruise control. Don't be the subject of a traffic report later this morning. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
No tailgating either here, as the forecast here, sponsored by Northwest Crawlspace Services. Rain will continue heavy at times here, so puddles aren't going away anytime soon here. Temperatures today in the 50s. Still quite warm up at the pass. They did have some freezing rain at Snoqualmie. Snow's going to hit up there above 3,000 feet for the mountains after 4 o'clock through tomorrow afternoon. Could be another foot to 17 to 19 inches of snow. Tomorrow, some showers around, better chance of a sunbreak if not cloudy, and a little drier. This is the wet day of the 2 for the weekend. This is Northwest News Radio.
Need help? You've come to the right place. Welcome back to Aging Options on Northwest News Radio.
Always a busy time every Saturday from 9 to 10. Where else? Such a source to help you in retirement planning and life planning at that when you're old enough to just walk away from the job and be a kid again. Remember the days of being in school? You could come home, playtime, weekends off, 2 weeks Christmas vacation, and then come June, all summer off. Yeah, looking forward to that. But you better have a plan now that you're older here, too. Seminars are important. Add it to your list of things to do, as well as a website here, lifepointlaw.com. Rajiv has at least time for 3 seminars or more sometimes to get together with you, with a group of people in various parts of the Sound. That is, he makes effort to come to your neighborhood. Later on today, he'll be at SeaTac at 11:30 for 90 minutes. These are free to attend. Bring your friend, your spouse, family member, whoever. You don't have to be retired. You can be 17 with your first job and start planning your retirement here. Or he just added a new one next week in Redmond. This will be off to the show as well, 11:30 from 1 p.m. in Redmond. For location and to register so we can get a head count, go to lifepointlaw.com. You'll see the upcoming retirement planning seminars icon right there on the first page. Rajiv.
There we are. We should go back to Mark. Mark, thank you for calling today. And you're calling on the last day of the open enrollment period. You're calling on the last day of the open enrollment period, Mark. And I just want to make sure that you are going to not be penalized for not doing the right thing. The Medicare laws require that when you turn 65, 3 months before, the month off, or 3 months after you turn 65, you must enroll in Medicare. If you do not, and the prescription drug plan, both of those things. If you do not enroll in them, then next year when you do enroll, for every 12 months you did not enroll when you were supposed to, there is a 10% penalty, meaning you'll be paying a premium increase. You can avoid that today by going to medicare.gov. Do you have access to a computer, Mark?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're going to go to medicare.gov, G-O-V, and there you will be able to find, there's a screen, it's real easy, that'll tell you as to which companies, you'll say shop Medicare or shop health insurance. And if you just want to get it done today, get involved with a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan, meaning zero premium. First, you will have to enroll in Medicare A and B. You can do that online. And right behind that, you can enroll in the Medicare Advantage plan, get the zero premium plan, and same thing you have to do with the prescription drug plan. Because if you do not enroll in prescription drug plan and next year you do, the penalty is 1% for every month you were not enrolled, which is 12% a year, which is even more steep. So you want to avoid both of those. My friend, whatever you have to do, find a way to enroll in a prescription drug plan and a zero premium Advantage plan. Next year, when you're looking at this stuff, you want to take it more seriously. The point of healthcare is to give you access to the doctors that you want. Now that you're 65, insist on getting a plan that has a large number of board-certified geriatric doctors. But that's a different conversation. Today, just enroll.
I'm still employed, and I still have medical through my work.
Oh, very good. Okay, so are you working for a large employer, more than 25 employees?
Yes.
Then you will not have a penalty. You're okay.
So my point is I guess my question was should I enroll in Part A and B for the benefits, even though I have the benefits through my insurance?
Part A, yes. Part B, it's optional whether you want to or not. If your employer gives you good coverage, then skip Part B. Part B will cost you money. Part A is free. Doesn't cost you anything. So enroll in Part A.
As of today, how do I enroll in Part A?
You just go to medicare.gov, and they'll allow you to enroll right there on the website. And if you are lost in that process, don't worry about it because you don't have a penalty to pay. So you will be okay if you did not enroll in it today, and then you can email me at radio@agingoptions.com if this becomes too complicated, and I will put you in touch with professionals who will help you out at some point in time. Okay?
Is there a phone number I can call them, or?
Medicare, good luck. I mean, yeah, they all have a phone number, but you'll be waiting on a year-long wait. I don't know the phone number. Go to Medicare.gov and you can call them directly. Yeah, and they'll be many of the. Yeah, you should be able to call them directly, but I don't have the number offhand with me.
Should I just call you?
I won't be able to do anything to help you other than ask you to make an appointment, come to my office, and then we will go ahead and do the work for you, and I will bill you for my time. You don't need to do any of that stuff. Just go to Medicare.gov, and now if you need help, absolutely call me, and I'm happy to help you out.
Okay.
I really appreciate your time.
Absolutely. And age on, Mark. Happy holidays. And that leaves the line open. Let's go to Vince in Tacoma. Vince, you're calling about a Medicare Advantage plan also. What's your question?
Yes, sir. And similar to the previous call, I am employed and have medical through my employment with the federal government. I also receive free medical from the VA due to a service-connected disability. Now, when I retire at the end of next year, do I need to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan, or would it be a supplement to my veterans coverage?
Right. Great question. Music playing. Stay on the line. Don't go away. I'll come back and answer that question. That deserves a better than a 2-second answer.
All the benefits we're all getting hearing questions like this, and maybe you want to add to the fun of retirement planning and life planning. 206-421-1000. As Rajiv says, he'll continue with Vince here and get that answer straight out here. Aging Options, it's right here, all about retirement planning and life planning every Saturday from 9 to 10. And there are seminars you can attend. He just added another one. First of all, today at 11:30 here at SeaTac. He's got one next week planned in Redmond, 11:30. Just keep listening for more details.
Thanks for listening to Aging Options on News Radio 97.7 FM and AM 1000. For more great articles to help guide your future, go to AgingOptions.com. That's AgingOptions.com and select blogs under the Free Learning Center tab. AgingOptions.com.
Will the retirement plan you've created be enough to keep you in the home you know and love until the very end, even if your health fails along the way? For most of us, the answer is no. 70% of American retirees take their last breath in an institution. That's a terrible track record. If your goal is to stay in your home all the way to the end, your financial portfolio on its own won't deliver the results you want. Your estate plan, even your long-term care insurance policy, can't deliver the results you need, but LifePoint Law's retirement planning seminars will. Learn how to create a plan for retirement built around your desire to age at home, no matter what happens. It's possible, and we can show you how.
There's a retirement planning seminar near you. SeaTac, December 7th. To register, visit lifepointlaw.com or call 253-838-3454. That's lifepointlaw.com or 253-838-3454.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
No shortage of problems on the north side this morning. Northbound I-5 before 175th Street. They've moved this accident off to the right side of the road. Now the right lane is blocked. The HOV lane back open, as well as the 3 left through lanes. But the damage is done. You're slowing down as far back as Roosevelt Way, and you're going to be in solid delays from there northbound up to 175th. And onlooker delays southbound on I-5 begin before 175th, heading down toward the interchange at 145th this morning. Meanwhile, on southbound 405, just after the I-5 interchange in Linwood, this accident's being cleaned up, but it's still sitting in that left lane. You're getting by to the center and right, but there is also an emergency vehicle on the right shoulder of the roadway, so you're kind of being squeezed from both sides there. Take it easy as you move past there. You're also seeing heavy traffic northbound on I-5 heading into downtown, starting around the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 405 still slowing from Renton up toward I-90. An earlier crash has been cleared in Newcastle. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
And Saturday's forecast. Fast, sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. Just for the rain, it could be heavy at times still, though a brief clearing here and there. But this is the rainy day of the weekend. Temperatures today near 50. It's going to be breezy. South winds at 5 to 15, gusts at 25. Snow for the mountains about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Going to drop to about 3,000 feet, and it's going to hold there till early evening tomorrow. Tomorrow here on the lowlands it'll be cloudy, less chance of rain, but a few showers around. This is Northwest News. Good morning. And it's coming fast. It's called retirement. It's called planning your life here. And what better? An easy way to do it than right here with Aging Options every Saturday from 9 to 10. And your host, Rajiv Nagaich, has got just so many ideas, a website to back it up at lifepointlaw.com if you want to look at those seminars and also get some good reading. I mean, he started off with that longevity diet. Add 8 years to your life here, but he says you just got to read the article to see what the surprise is and what it takes. Go to lifepointlaw.com, click on the blog, and you've got Vince still on the phone. Looking for an answer here, Rajiv.
There we go. Hi, Vince. Back again to you. So you are still working. You've got insurance through your employer, but more importantly, you're a veteran. And you do get free care at the VA system. And next year, you will have to make a decision. And your question was whether you should enroll in Medicare, given that you are able to access care through the VA system. So let's kind of break that down for you a little bit. Number one, the Medicare laws are very clear that when you turn age 65, you must enroll in Medicare unless you are working for a large employer that offers coverage equal to or better than what Medicare is going to offer. Right? So that's just the law. So if you're working for a large employer, as long as you're working, you don't have to enroll in Medicare. But to you, I'd say Medicare Part A is free to you. So everyone who turns 65, regardless whether you have coverage or not, you should be enrolling in Medicare Part A as an apple. And that proves to the government that, yeah, you did what you were required to do, and then keep some proof that you had other coverage. Whether you should get Part B and prescription drug coverage, that is a separate question. Medicare law says when you are no longer employed by a large employer, you must enroll in Medicare Part B, and you must have a prescription drug plan. Right? So you don't have a choice. If you don't have it, then you'll pay a penalty when you do in future have to enroll. But your argument is, I've got VA coverage, and VA covers everything. So what the heck do I need coverage for? I can just go to the VA hospital. There are two things. And I've seen enough of these cases over my lifetime. Number one, there may be a time that you may not be able to get to the VA system, and the VA system, and you may have to access care for whatever reason. You may have to access care outside of the VA system. If you don't have Medicare Part B, and if you don't have the prescription drug coverage, that could become expensive, even though the VA system does say if you need emergency care, we'll cover it. That's okay. Go outside, go get it covered. But there are times that they will not cover it, and I've seen a few of those cases. But the bigger reason, the bigger caution that I give every veteran is the VA system is at the whim of the government. Right? Depending as to who is in the office, what they're going to do, I'm always afraid of if the budget is too difficult to manage, they may come back and exclude certain veterans who have access to Medicare and say, well, I mean, you had Medicare, you should have enrolled in Medicare. So I don't know what the future holds. If you want to be absolutely certain that you will never for one single minute of your life live without coverage, my advice to you would be enroll in Medicare. Now, there are different ways you can enroll in Medicare. You can enroll in Medicare, traditional Medicare, which would be my recommendation that if you're going to go into Medicare, get traditional Medicare. It's a much better way. You'll never hear it advertised. The only advertisements you hear is about Medicare Advantage. But if you feel pretty confident that you don't want to spend money because you have the VA system, at least for right now, to cover you, they cover both your prescription drugs and your coverage, then you can enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan. Enroll in Medicare Part B, you'll have to pay $176 a month, whatever the premium is. But then beyond that, you can enroll in a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan and a zero premium prescription drug plan. And then you have the best coverage, and I think your problems are going to be much better addressed by taking these steps. Does that make sense, Vince?
And that is excellent advice. Now, if I continue my medical insurance, which I'm eligible for past retirement, does that affect my ability?
Yes, because as long as you have coverage that is equal to or better than Medicare, so a lot of the federal employees, if you will, and some state employees working for the state of Washington, you may have uniform medical. If you're a postal worker, you may have post office coverage, and federal government employees have that. Then you don't need to enroll in Medicare as long as you have a Medicare equivalent plan. But many federal employees are required, and you have to look at that. It's a dizzyingly complex system. But you have to just call OPM, Office of Personnel Management, either at the state or the federal government, and say, do I need to enroll in Medicare? And if they say, yes, you have to, because our coverage will be subject to you enrolling in Medicare, then you have to enroll in Medicare. And if you don't have to, which most federal employees will not have to, then you're good to go. Then you don't need to enroll in Medicare because that plan will take place of Medicare. Hope that helps.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Age on, Vince. And might I suggest that, as you're thinking about retirement, congratulations, first of all, being that age that you can actually look to Social Security, look to Medicare to go ahead and help you out, but look at the rest of your life at this time. Don't just stop at the healthcare insurance. What do you need health insurance for? So I can live as healthy as I can for as long as I can. But dang it, if I do fall ill, I want to make sure that I don't end up in a nursing home, become a burden, or die broke. That a health insurance plan alone will not be able to do. For that, you need to do what we call life planning. Much better way to do retirement planning. Look, we all engage in retirement planning, but the results that we end up getting with doing what I call piecemeal retirement planning, go to a lawyer, go to a financial planner, go to a doctor, gives you a 70% chance you're not going to be able to live out your life at home, a 69% chance you will become a burden on your loved ones, and you lose money to uncovered medical costs. None of this needs to happen. When we come back, we'll go to William in Seattle.
I got to say, too, that little conversation you have with Vince, that was like showing us retirement is not a game of checkers. It can be a game of chess. You got to make the right moves and checkmate.
No doubt.
And your win is right here. Aging Options. And again, the website, lifepointlaw.com. That's where you find everything that Rajiv's talking about here, and then some. Even great reads, too. lifepointlaw.com. Hang on.
Northwest traffic from the High Performance Homes Traffic Center.
No shortage of problems on the north side this morning. Northbound I-5 before 175th Street. They've moved this accident off to the right side of the road. Now the right lane is blocked. The HOV lane back open, as well as the 3 left through lanes. But the damage is done. You're slowing down as far back as Roosevelt Way, and you're going to be in solid delays from there northbound up to 175th. And onlooker delays southbound on I-5 begin before 175th, heading down toward the interchange at 145th this morning. Meanwhile, on southbound 405, just after the I-5 interchange in Linwood, this accident's being cleaned up, but it's still sitting in that left lane. You're getting by to the center and right, but there is also an emergency vehicle on the right shoulder of the roadway, so you're kind of being squeezed from both sides there. Take it easy as you move past there. You're also seeing heavy traffic northbound on I-5 heading into downtown, starting around the West Seattle Bridge. Northbound 405 still slowing from Renton up toward I-90. An earlier crash has been cleared in Newcastle. That's Northwest Traffic. I'm Brian White.
Checking our forecast here for the weekend, sponsored by Northwest Crawl Space Services. Maybe doing some decorating indoors and some project. Tomorrow will be the nicer day. Rain showers at times today, about 100%, with the clouds moving right above us right now here, just moving right along. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We're seeing snow head for the mountains, not till about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Then it's going to stay put at about the 3,000-foot level. Heavy snow expected, mountain passes till late tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, tomorrow here in the lowlands, it'll be cloudy, less chance of rain, but a few showers around, and temperatures tomorrow in the 50s. Aging Options every Saturday from 9 until 10 o'clock. Everything about retirement, your job, 17, 70, whatever the age. It's all here to learn about retirement. You're never too young. You're never too old. You're busy right now with William, who's got a call on the phone here, Rajiv.
Welcome to Aging Options, William. How can I help you?
Yes, morning to all of you. Anyway, I'm on SSI, and I'm definitely retired, been retired for a number of years. And I've never paid anything because I was told I didn't have to because I was on SSI. I hardly get any money a month to begin with. So am I going to have to pay $176 a month?
No, actually, with SSI, there's always an exception to any rule that I spout out here, and you're the exception. SSI is available in recognition of the fact that you don't have income. So you get a certain amount of income and you get some benefit, the health benefits, and you are what is referred to as dual eligible in the Medicare system. You qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid. Medicare is a much better way of getting health insurance. The government recognizes that, but it gets Medicaid to cover your premium. So they will not be, you are making a premium payment, only you're not doing it, but on your behalf through the government, through your benefits, the premium is being paid, so there will not be any increases or any of this stuff that I talked about to people who are not SSI eligible. They may have to pay.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Of course.
I can't afford $176 a month.
No, you got it, Bill. Absolutely. Listen, stay well, my friend. Happy holidays, and we will talk soon.
See, proof two. I mean, William had a simple question. It can be that simple. Every Saturday, 9 to 10, the show goes real quick. LifePointLaw.com, the website. Again, look at the website because you're going to find out about seminar going on today, right after the show at SeaTac, and then next week you're going to be in Redmond. I got you 15 seconds here left of the show. This went quick, Rajiv.
This goes real quick. And my friends, all I'll say is, look, this is the holiday season. Do yourself a favor. Give yourself the biggest present you can, the gift of a predictable life. Age on, everyone.
The preceding program was paid for by LifePoint Law and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of News Radio management or staff.